Hi, welcome to Bible History Man. Last time, we learned about the destruction of the northern kingdom of Israel as the people were taken off into bondage. And now, there is only one kingdom left. It's the kingdom of Judah, and the king of it is a guy named Hezekiah. And Hezekiah is very faithful to the Lord. Hezekiah is going to make it his business to send people up to call his brothers back. The other 10 tribes of Israel are brought down, the remnants that were not deported into Assyria, obviously. And they were invited to the Passover, and they were invited to worship the one true God in the way God likes to be worshipped, in the temple, and not with a bunch of golden calves. And so God's mercy to this remnant of Israel is again greatly manifest. But I would be lying if I told you that Hezekiah was also faithful to Assyria. He's going to stop sending tribute to Shalmaneser, and Shalmaneser is not going to be even slightly amused. He's going to show up and start seizing large swaths of Judah, and Hezekiah is going to realize that he stepped wrong, and so he's going to send tribute to him and say, "Please forgive me." But Shalmaneser is going to take the money, but he's not going to forgive him. And so they're going to come and they're going to tell the people of Judah that they need to abandon the city of Jerusalem, and they need to come out and they need to be deported. No fish hooks this time, they promise. Absolutely promise. The Assyrians wouldn't use fish hooks anyway, would they? And we're going to take you off to a land that's just as nice as this one, and we'll take other people in and bring them here, and it's just going to be wonderful. So why should you undergo a horrible siege and all get murdered by us? This was the Assyrian MO, obviously. We're too horrible to fight, so you need to just surrender right off the bat. And so they're going to make a major mistake, though. While they're doing it, they're going to say, "Don't hope in this God of yours to save you, because did anyone else's God save them?" And he's going to pretty much challenge God. And that's not going to work out very well for him at all. Hezekiah is going to trust in the Lord. He's going to take this nasty letter and he's going to lay it down before the Lord, and he's going to pray. And Isaiah is going to come back and say, "Challenge accepted." God has decided to accept the challenge of Sennacherib. And that's not going to be a very fair fight. So what's going to happen is the Bible tells us that Sennacherib's army is destroyed. Sennacherib, on the other hand, is going to have his own version of events. And you can find it. There's three copies of it right now, the Annals of Sennacherib. One is the Taylor Prism, which can be found in London. The Jerusalem Prism, the Institute for the Study of Ancient Culture Prism, which can be found here in the good old United States in Chicago. And all of them have the same message. He says that he shut up Hezekiah like a bird in his cage. And then he left. And you have to wonder, why did he not finish off Hezekiah the way he finished off the city of Samaria and the way they finished off all those other cities? Was it mercy? Perhaps it was kindness. Assyria. Mercy, kindness. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he got his army destroyed. I don't know. That's what kind of makes sense to me anyway. Now, the reason that Sennacherib didn't get right down to business is that they had to deal with Egypt first. Egypt had come north to give them war. And I don't know if you remember this, but possibly you do if you paid attention to my more recent Egypt one. But at this point, Egypt is under the control of a Cushite dynasty. And the Cushites are going to march north and they're going to do battle with Assyria. And they're going to lose. And then they're going to battle them again. They're going to lose again. And the Assyrians are going to take over Egypt, and they are going to place in the place of the Cushites a puppet pharaoh. And so after this, Egypt will be an ally of Assyria instead of an enemy. Now, Assyria has their normal cocktail of problems. They're still dealing with almost nonstop rebellions in Babylon and still having to face their enemies, the Persians, the Scythians, all these other people who hate the Assyrians because they're evil people, and evil people have enemies. Now, Assyria doesn't have things all their own way. After the death of Ashurbanipal, there's going to be a contest for the throne. 2 of his sons are going to fight over who gets to be the next leader of Assyria. And they're not going to be able to settle this issue very quickly. And unfortunately, they're going to drain the power of Assyria. The Persians and the Medes are going to start taking cities. The Babylonians are going to throw off the yoke. A guy named Nabonidus is going to not only take the city of Babylon, he's going to be able to keep it. Cities are being taken, and Assyria is just not able to deal with the problem. Eventually, it's going to end with the enemies of Assyria surrounding them in their great capital city of Nineveh. The capital city of Nineveh is legendary. It's massive. It's a day's walk across. The walls are so thick that you can ride 2 chariots abreast on the top of it. The walls are high. There's no way to take it. It's just too powerful a capital. And yet, they're going to take it anyway. They're going to divert the Tigris River, and it's going to undercut the wall, like sappers only using a river. And the wall's going to fall over, and the enemies of Assyria are going to enter in. Now, this isn't the end of Assyria, but it's the end of Assyria for all intents and purposes. Their power is broken. They're going to fight a backwards defensive action after this. Do you remember good King Josiah? 8 years old, he takes the throne. And immediately, he turns to the Lord. When the word is read to him, he trembles at it. He begins to call the people to repentance. He has the law of Moses read to them so that they too can tremble at the word of the Lord. He immediately begins working hard on repairing the temple and using the temple funds to make sure that everything is done correctly. So many times there are good kings of Judah who do not do away with the high places. And he does. He does away with the high places. He turns to the Lord in a way not known of since the days of David. This is a truly good king. And yet, he meets his end, standing up against Pharaoh Necho. Well, this is what that's about. You see, at Megiddo, Pharaoh Necho is coming north. He is pressing hard because he wants to go and relieve the siege of Nineveh. He wants to come help his master, Assyria. But who's standing in his way but little Judah? Tiny little Judah in his way. And so the battle goes poorly. He replaces him with another king, and then he heads on up. But now, too late. In the days that follow, there's going to be a contest for who's going to be in control of the area. The Egyptians are now the most powerful part of their coalition because the Assyrians are gone. Their cities are ash heaps. They've been destroyed. Their lands have been taken, mostly by Babylon, but some of them by Persia. And so there's going to be a battle in the area of Judah between Babylon and Egypt. And we'll get to that next time on Bible History Man. Well, that's another one of my episodes. Thank you so much for watching the whole way. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I love to answer questions. And if you're interested in it, I would love to talk about it. Also, if you have any other ideas about things that I could tell you about biblical history, I'm always open to suggestions because it's what you want to hear that I would like to talk about. Now, if you like biblical history, like I like biblical history, or even a fraction as much as I like biblical history, I have a book out called A Helpful Handbook of Hebrew History. And it's available on WisePath Books or Amazon.com, and the links are in the comments below. Now, I would recommend that you would read a book instead of listening to videos all the time, because as an educator, I know it's much better for your brain, especially if you're not an adult yet. If you're still a youth, your brain is better if you read. So I would recommend that you read that book.